Hello. In this yin practice, if you have blocks or a strap, have them handy, but you can do all of the poses without. Make your way to a comfortable seated position. In today's practice, we'll be moving through the poses with thinking of Koshas in mind. Koshas were designed from the Vedas. It's an ancient yoga text from Tantric yoga. And the Koshas are considered 5 layers or sheaths. And on the outside there's one, and then you peel that layer off, and inside is another kosha, another layer, and then peeling that off like a skin, going deeper and deeper until you get to the central kosha. Each one is important. Each one has an important role to play. So come on to a seated position with the soles of your feet together and knees open wide. You can have your knees halfway between your heels and your pelvis, your sit bones. So a nice big square or diamond shape for your legs. If it's more comfortable, you can sit on a block, or you can rest your hands on the mat behind you. Or you're welcome to place your hands on your ankles or feet and fold forward. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. So think of releasing forward into the pose. There's a Native American proverb. It says, "Listen to the wind, it talks. Listen to the silence, it speaks. Listen to your heart, it knows." So we'll begin with the first kosha. It's the Annamaya kosha. It's the physical body. Its corresponding element is earth. So feel the weight of your physical body. Let it sit into the mat. The Annamaya kosha, this physical body, is our anatomical sheath. It's our bones, our tendons, our muscles. This kosha is very dense. When our physical body is in balance, we have a connection to our body. We have that connection through movement. But when this kosha is out of balance, we may lack bodily awareness. Just breathe. Scan your body, your physical body. See how it feels. It tells us a story. Be aware of any areas that you need to be careful of. Any areas that are feel tender. Just notice that and make adjustments. Look after your body. But if it feels right, let your body relax and open a little deeper into the poses. Be here for a couple more breaths. And gently, slowly place each hand on the outside of each knee and bring your knees together. And from here, slowly straighten each leg. You might start with your hands on the mat behind you, and with your hands, push your chest forward. Or maybe today you walk your hands forward. Try to keep your knees straight. If it's available to you, you can flex your feet towards you. You don't need a strap, but if it's more comfortable for you to use a strap, You can place the strap around either the arch or the ball of the feet. And without forcing, all the strap is doing is helping you keep stable. Just invite your chest forward. Think of your physical body, the first of the 5 koshas. It's the outside layer. Notice your bones, your muscles, tendons. Think of releasing any tension wherever you feel it, maybe in the backs of your legs, perhaps your spine. Breathe. Be here for a couple more breaths. And slowly come up. And now with your legs still straight, bring them out in a V shape. Reach under each leg to internally rotate the muscles in your thighs. And again, maybe in this pose, it's most comfortable to have your hands on the mat behind you. But go as far as you can in the pose. Maybe with the hands push the mat away from you and lean forward, walking your hands forward. Breathe here. Invite your body to soften. Yin yoga is all about offering your body an invitation to deepen into the pose, to open just a little bit more without forcing. Just stay with it. Maybe soften more deeply and let go. A few more breaths. And slowly come on back up. Place each hand under each knee. Bend your knees and bring your feet together. Come onto your hands and knees, but step your right leg forward as far as you can. If you prefer, you can place your hands on blocks and slide the left knee back as far as you can, and then stretch your hips forward. Your left toes can be tucked or the top of the foot on the mat. And just soften the hips forward. Think letting go. Let that physical body soften and open. Couple more breaths. Now bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. Lift the toes up and pivot on the heel, turning the toes out. Roll onto the outside of that right foot and let that right knee open wide. Still offering the hips forward. Be here for a minute or so. Breathe. Soften, release. Couple more breaths here. And then slowly let your hips come back enough to bring the right knee beside the left, and now step the left foot forward and soften the hips forward. If that left knee is passing the ankle, just walk that right knee back a bit. You can place your hands on blocks here if that's more comfortable. The back foot can be, the top of the foot can be on the mat or tucked. It's up to you. Release your hips. Let them soften and come forward. Try to let your body relax into the pose. Breathe, let go. Couple more breaths. Bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Lift the toes up. Turn the left foot out to the left, roll onto the baby toe side of that foot. So you're letting the left knee roll out to the side here. And breathe, letting the hips come forward. Let go. Maybe bend your elbows if that's right for you, coming a bit lower. Or keeping your hands on blocks. Be here for a few more breaths. And slowly bring that left knee back in. Place your left hand on the outside of the left foot. Tuck your right toes up. Lift that knee up. And just step the right foot forward enough that you can lower both feet to the mat and come on up to standing. Now keep your left foot at the front of the mat. Left foot parallel to the front of the mat. Right foot back, maybe a couple of feet. So right foot is parallel to the front of the left foot parallel to the front of the mat, right foot turned out at a 45-degree angle. Hands on hips, bring that right hip forward. So from the side, it looks like this. Keep your spine straight, legs stay straight, bend at the hips, lead with the chest and fold forward. Breathe. You can keep your hands on your hips or place your hands on blocks, or maybe your hands reach the mat. Just fold forward here. This is the last pose we'll be doing with the physical body sheath, the Annamaya Kosha. Couple more breaths. And slowly lift back up. Bend your front knee and step the back foot forward. And now step the other foot back. The heel of the back foot is on the mat, toes pointed out at a 45-degree angle. Straighten the front leg. Bring that left hip forward. Hips are parallel to the front of the mat. So you exhale, fold forward, and hang out here. Maybe on this side your hands reach the blocks or the mat, or perhaps keep your hands on your hips. Breathe. Let go. One more breath. Slowly come on up. Bend the front knee and step the back foot forward. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold. Come onto your knees. And now come right onto your belly. Place each forearm on the mat, each elbow shoulder width apart. Keep your elbows far in front, enough in front of your shoulders that your lowest rib cage can stay on the mat. But think of sending your chest forward, shoulders back. If your low back feels healthy, you can bring your elbows back a bit, lifting your lowest rib cage up. But if that bothers your back, walk your elbows forward and stay in Sphinx pose for several breaths. We're now entering the Pranamaya Kosha. Pranamaya is about our breath, our respiratory system, our nervous, lymphatic, and immune system. When the Pranamaya Kosha is in balance, we have breath awareness. And when it's out of balance, we may have difficulty breathing and energy blockages. So for the next pose with the Pranamaya Kosha, you can either stay right here in Sphinx pose, or the next option is to Straighten each arm out away from your body. And then bring your hands in ever so slightly and lift your whole chest up off the mat. Think of sending your chest forward. If this is too much for your spine, come back onto the forearms. Breathe here. Notice your breath. Breathe. Be here for a couple more breaths. Then slowly lower to the mat and roll onto your back. And with your back flat on the mat, bring your knees up. Bring the soles of your feet together. And with your hands, run them down your shins and grab either your ankles or the outside of your feet. Bringing your feet together, letting your knees open wide away from you. Let your breath be full and slow and relaxed, without controlling it. Notice your breath. It supports your body. Each of these koshas work as a team. They all help each other. From the physical body to the breath and more. You can pull your feet in a little bit more. You can push your knees away from each other a little bit more. Or stay where you are. A few more breaths here. And then with each hand on each foot, just lift your feet up towards the ceiling, the soles of the feet facing the ceiling, knees and feet nice and wide. You might choose to stay still here, or maybe rock side to side in Anandasana, happy baby. Take a few breaths there. And then release your feet. Roll onto your right side. With your right arm on the mat, you can support your head with your right hand. Left hand on the mat in front of you to begin. Keep that left hip directly above the right. Bring the left leg just straight out in front. And with your right leg, your lower leg, reach it behind. With your left hand, reach behind and grab your right ankle. Lower the left leg as much as you need to keep it straight, and then bring it forward. Breathe here. If it's more comfortable, you can rest your head a little lower. Just be comfortable. But offer that left leg up as high as it will go. Few more breaths. And then lower your left foot, release your right foot, and roll over onto your left side. Do the other side. So resting on your left hip, left arm forward, you can rest your head in your left hand if that's comfortable. Bring the top leg, the right leg out front. Bend the left knee, the lower leg. With your right hand, reach back and grab that left ankle. If your hand is not reaching your ankle, you can also place a strap around that ankle and hold the strap. And then from here, bring that right leg up as high as you can while keeping it straight. Foot is flexed. And just hang out here. Maybe lifting that right leg up a bit higher. Notice your breath. Just relax into your breath. Let it support your practice. That's 4 or 5 more breaths. Maybe lifting that front leg up a bit higher. One more breath. Release that lower leg. Lower the right leg back down and roll onto your back. Keep your feet on the floor, knees bent. With your arms on the mat away from your body, walk your feet together and slide your hips to the right. Let your knees roll to the left and turn your gaze to your right. Breathe. Invite your breath to help your physical body relax and deepen into the pose. Breathe, relax. Couple more breaths here. And gently bring your knees and gaze back to center. Slide your hips to the left, bringing your feet together, knees roll to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. Breathe. Release. Let go. We'll be here in this gentle reclined twist for another minute or so. A couple more breaths. Bring your knees and gaze back to center. One by one, straighten each leg. Reach your arms up over your head. Walk your feet to the right and bring your hands to the right. If you like to, you can bring your right hand and hold your left wrist. This is crescent pose. We're now coming into the next kosha called the Manamaya kosha. It's our psychological sheath. The Manamaya kosha is all about our mind, our feeling, and a process that organizes experience. When the Manamaya kosha is in balance, it has a healthy emotional expression. When it's out of balance, we may have unconscious thought patterns or have emotional reactivity that's maybe out of balance. So slowly bring your hands and legs back to center, and then walk your hands and legs to the other side, and maybe with your right hand hold your left wrist in crescent pose. Breathe here. Let go. Check in with your thoughts, your mind, your feelings. Slowly walk your hands and feet back to center and make your way onto your hands and knees. With the tops of the feet on your mat, we're coming into child's pose. So there's a few ways of doing this. One is just keep your knees almost together and sit right onto your heels and come forward. Another nice way is to walk your knees wide and bring the toes together and then sit back and then come forward onto your arms or your forehead. See what your body is asking for and come into child's pose, any version that supports your body. And check in with your mind. Notice your thoughts, your emotions. Sometimes our emotions get stuck in our bodies. If you notice that, breathe into that area. And as you exhale, offer the emotions to release. We'll be here for 4 or 5 more breaths. And slowly place your hands on the mat, lift yourself up, and come on to a seated position with both knees bent, feet over to the right. We're coming into deer pose. So start with your left leg. Have your left knee at a 90-degree angle. Left foot is flexed. And then bring the right knee to the left heel and make the right knee at a 90-degree angle. Option 1 is to walk your hands forward right over the left knee. See how that feels. Option 2 is to turn, twist to the left, and then lower onto your forearms behind you. See what feels best for you. Again, scan your body. Notice any emotions your body's holding on to. And with your breath, as you exhale, invite those emotions to release. Let go. And offer yourself kindness and self-love. Couple more breaths. And slowly make your way back up. Lift the knees up and then swing the feet over to the left and let your knees roll to the right. So start with your right knee. Bring that into a 90-degree angle with your right foot flexed. And then bring your left knee to the right heel. Left foot flexed. Option to walk your hands forward over your right knee, or option to gently twist to the right and place your forearms on the mat behind you. See what feels best for you on this side in this practice. Just breathe, try to relax into the pose. Couple more breaths. And slowly place your hands on the mat, come on back up, and bring your legs behind you, coming onto your hands and knees. We're coming into Anahatasana. This is a heart-opening pose. So you can either have your toes tucked or the tops of your feet on the mat. But keep your hips directly above your knees. And then from here, walk your hands forward, keeping your hips where they are, and then gently soften your chest, your heart towards the mat. Breathe. Think of letting your chest open wide. We're now at the Vijnamaya Kosha. This is the intellectual sheath. It governs our intelligence and wisdom. When balanced, the Vijnamaya Kosha, we have a discriminating intuition or witness. When it's out of balance, we're sometimes unable to see the bigger picture, or we may be trapped in a less open mind. Breathe, let your heart open. We'll be here for another minute or so. Think of releasing, letting go. Couple more breaths. Slowly lift back up and walk your hands under your shoulders. And now, staying on all fours, straighten the right leg out behind you and lower the toes to the mat. Gently press the toes into the mat and push the heel back. It's a gentle calf stretch, but we'll stay in it for almost a minute. Just breathe, softening the heel back, releasing as you need to. Breathe. Slowly lower that knee to the mat and straighten the other leg, toes pressed into the mat, push that heel back. Just a gentle, encouraging twist. And breathe here for a few more breaths. And slowly lower that knee to the mat and turn and face the side of your mat. The next pose we're coming into is a frog pose. And so take your mat. I've got two mats here, but just you could take one mat. Roll it up so the mat is doubled up on either end. And then walk your knees as wide as you can. And now you'll know how much you want to bring the mat in. And then have it so the shins are parallel to each other. So each heel is directly below each knee. Toes pointed out. So from the side, it looks like this. Hope you can see. And take your knees as wide as you can comfortably do so. And then from here, if you're not feeling anything, walk your knees even wider. And you can send your hips forward or back to find just the right spot where you've gone as far as you can. You might keep your hands on the mat. Maybe you can come onto your forearms. Try to let the weight of your hips, let your body deepen into this stretch, this pose. Breathe. Let go. We'll be here for another minute or so. Try to stay with it. Notice what your mind is saying. It may be resisting, but listen to your body. Can you stay with it? Here for 5 or 6 more breaths. Couple more breaths. Slowly place each hand on the mat. Bring your toes in and then press your toes into the mat and gently bring your knees together. Come on to a seated position. We'll be here for about 5 minutes or so. If it's more comfortable for your spine, please feel free to sit on a block. It helps to have your hips slightly elevated. But if you don't have a block, you can sit right on the mat if that's comfortable. So we're now entering the Anandamaya Kosha. This is the bliss or meditation kosha. With your hands resting gently on your thighs or your knees, take a few breaths here. You're welcome to soften your gaze, or if you're comfortable, feel free to close your eyes. The Anandamaya Kosha is all about bliss or meditation. It's our blissful sheath. It is a sense of being okay with what is. When this kosha, the Anandamaya Kosha, is in balance, we have an awareness of ourself. Out of balance, we may have an attachment to a spiritual experience, or maybe we're unable to integrate ourselves with daily life. As you sit quietly in this Anandamaya Kosha meditation, I read you this. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing to all beings. The Metta of the Buddha. If your mind wanders, notice your breath. Notice the thoughts, then let them go. Continue to breathe, inviting the mind to be still, quiet. Find space within your mind. If your eyes are closed, gently open them, or you can keep them closed. And place each hand on the mat. Uncross your legs without disturbing your body too much. Make your way onto your mat. Slowly make your way onto your back. One by one, rest each arm on the mat. One by one, let each leg rest on the mat. Soften your gaze. Allow your physical body to rest and relax on the mat. Let your breath be calm and natural. Invite your mind to be fully still as you relax and rest in Shavasana. Softly deepen your breath. Invite movement to your fingers, toes. Begin to move your arms and legs. Maybe stretching your arms up over your head or hugging your knees to your chest. When you're ready, slowly roll to one side. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.